In this video, we're going to look at two indicators that, when combined, give us a really interesting strategy. We'll be catching these kinds of impulse moves, and as a result, we can make some pretty good profits from them. And to back up what I'm saying, let's try to grow my deposit from $300 to, say, $1,000 or even $1,500. So basically, we're aiming to make 5 times more using just 2 indicators. So let's get into this video and see how this strategy works for us. And by the way, even a complete beginner with no experience can follow this strategy and make money with it. So watch closely and pay attention to all the details, because everything really will be important. Let's go! Here's an example right away with the Canadian dollar and Japanese yen. I'm opening my trade for $150. That's half of my entire deposit. That's how confident I am in this strategy. And look at what I'm doing. First of all, we had a crossover here, meaning the red line was dominant. It was on top. Accordingly, for me, that's a signal to sell. Next, the moving average serves as confirmation for our trade. So, I see that the price is below the moving average, which means I can confidently open a sell trade. If, for example, the price were above the moving average, I wouldn't open my trade, or on the other hand, if there was no crossover here, but the price was, say, below the moving average, I also wouldn't open any trade. So, the ADX indicator, which is at the bottom, is responsible for the actual signal, and the moving average, essentially, is responsible for confirmation, whether we open the trade or not. As you can see, that's already 15 points in the direction I want. A great trade brings me $132. Later in this video, I'll show you in which situations you should skip trades and not open any positions. I'll share the settings for this indicator. And of course, we'll also talk about the timing and platform settings, how to set all this up in the simplest way possible so that trading is comfortable. But for now, let's look at another trade example and open a trade with 50%. That's $216. Here, look, we have an example of an entry point for a buy. Honestly, I thought there would be a sell signal, but as you can see, there isn't. What happened here? The price moved above the moving average, and here we had a buy signal. So we see the green line on top. If the green line is on top, then we open a buy trade. Next, we look for confirmation. Is the price above the moving average or not? Since it is above, we open our buy trade. And let's just remember 2 simple rules. If you want to open a buy trade, make sure the green line is above the red one at the moment of the crossover, and the price is above the moving average. Then that's a safe entry point for a buy. If you want to open a sell trade, then make sure the red line is on top, and the price is below the moving average. These are the 2 simple conditions this strategy is based on. A great trade just brought me $196. By the way, I already have $620 in my balance, so I've doubled my deposit. Let's open the next trade again for 50%. That's $314. But for now, let's talk about the settings of this indicator. I'll share the settings for these 2 indicators in our Telegram channel, IDA Trading Booster. If you want to earn just like this using these indicators, then follow the link in the description, subscribe to our Telegram channel, and grab the settings for these 2 indicators. I'll leave the link in the description. Go ahead, get them, and start earning with the same results. The link waiting for you in the description and in the pinned comment. Let's keep moving. We're only using these 2 indicators. Next, we need to set up the candles. We'll be using 15-second candles and 1 minute per trade. I hope that's clear as well. So, the settings are extremely simple. By the way, when you add the ADX indicator, pay attention. There's a little arrow here that you need to click, and then the indicator will expand, which will help you find more precise entry points. I hope that's clear as well. Now, let's take a look at another trade example, and then we'll look at situations that should be avoided, the ones that are absolutely critical for us. British pound, Swiss franc. I'm opening a sell trade. What's happening here? First, the red line crosses the green one and is on top. So, that's a sell signal. Next, let's see where the moving average is. Here it is. And where the price is. The price is below the moving average. So, this is a solid entry point for a sell. We have 2 factors lining up, so we open a sell trade. Let's watch this trade, and after that, we'll look at the situations you should skip. Great trade. I made $210. Awesome. As you can see, I already have $840 in my balance. So, the next trade I can open again for 50%, which will be $400. Well, almost. Let's just round it up to $420. Now, let's look at the situations you should skip. If you see a situation like this, where the ADX indicator is crossing over itself at values like these, it's better to skip it. If you notice that the price is constantly hovering around the moving average and isn't making any deeper or higher moves, you should skip that as well. If the price hasn't touched, like here, if your ADX lines haven't crossed each other at that moment, but you still have what looks like an entry point, you should skip that as well. We need to have 2 factors confirmed at the same time. First, there must be a crossover. So, if the green line crosses the red one here, only then do we open a trade. And second, the price must be within our zone. If we want to open a buy trade, it should be above the moving average. Here, we open a buy trade. If we want to sell, then we wait until the price is below the moving average. What else should we skip if you're not sure about a situation? If you see situations like this where the ADX is very narrow, in other words, the wider these two lines are, the safer the trade will be. The closer they are, the less safe the trade will be. So we also skip these small situations. Accordingly, here as well, we skip all of this because the lines are very narrow, very close to each other, so it's not safe. But here, for example, there was a safe trade. And by the way, this is actually an interesting example. This was quite a safe trade for us. So here we could have entered a buy and made a profit. Looks like we've figured out the entry points and situations. So let's wrap up, hopefully with the last trade. Here we have a crossover, but it's not very convincing. So I skip situations like this as well. And again, I'll repeat, if you're not sure about something, it's better to skip it and wait for a confident entry point that will actually let you make money. Just like right here. We had a strong move, so we could have made money here too. This was about where the entry point was. And accordingly, here we could have confidently made money on a sell as well, even if we entered just when the price touched our moving average. That's why you should always choose situations that make sense to you. By the way, here's another important point. If you see that literally just one candle has closed, then you can enter. If it's already 2 candles, or 3, or even more, then we don't open our trade. So look, for example, if I see that here we had a crossover, the green line crossed the red one, that's a buy signal. Next, I see that one candle has already closed above our moving average. So on the second candle, I can still open a buy trade. That will be safe. If it's already the second, third, or fourth candle, that's no longer a safe entry point. Please remember this as well. And while we are waiting for this trade to finish, I want to remind you that you can get the settings for these 2 indicators right now via the link in the description. They're available to all our subscribers. So join our Telegram channel and grab the settings for these 2 indicators from there. A great trade brings me $360. And as you can see, I made my deposit exactly 4 times bigger using just these 2 indicators, without a single loss. Yes, the statistics for this strategy aren't 100%, but you'll close about 8 out of 10 trades in profit. If you understand all the settings correctly and use them wisely, then you really can achieve the same result. Be sure to write in the comments what you think about this strategy and these tools, and I'll also be waiting to hear about your results. What do you think of this strategy? How do you like these indicators? Were you able to make a profit or not? Anyway, I'll leave all the useful links in the description. Also, by following the link in the description, you can join our Telegram channel and get these exact settings for indicators. It's time to say goodbye. Be sure to rate this video a like or dislike. Let me know if you liked it or not. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you in the next videos.